This week's episode is brought to you by planning ahead. An important skill for life, planning ahead is used to keep yourself sane, save resources, or even prevent disaster. Planning ahead. Maybe by the time this comes out, Atlas will have moved out of his parents' attic. Hey everybody, welcome to Nexus at Night. One of us may or may not have VD. It's up to you to find out who. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
VD stands for Valentine's Day, by the way.
Oh, well, it's definitely not me.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder which one of us has admitted to having an active dating life.
Do I count as having an active dating life? Because it's
No.
The last 6 months have just been nothing.
That's true.
It's okay. I couldn't even find a pink sweater for Thursday. I'm really upset.
I actively don't care. I'm only drawing a Valentine's Day picture as an excuse to actually upload something.
All right, but here's the thing. I wanted to buy a pink sweater only so not only would I have a pink sweater for Thursday, I would also own a pink sweater going forward, which would be a huge bonus.
Always good.
Yes.
Having a pink sweater. Happy almost Valentine's Day, you listeners out there. Most of us are alone statistically because...
Wow.
Yeah.
Rude, assuming...
Happy excuse to eat chocolate day.
Oh, yeah. And go watch the Big Mouth Valentine's Day special, because that thing is fucking awesome. But today, we're talking about something that happened last week. Bushiroad went ahead and revealed what are they doing for the next 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And
they have to let their shareholders know or something.
I can't... Okay, I know this is a thing, but, there are people out there who literally invest in a card game.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to invest in this company that makes cardboard that...
and then you milk out every penny you can, then you leave.
Yeah.
Really, that's what they do.
You can make more money than you've ever... You can make more money than you've ever made in previous years and fire 800 people immediately afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Good old Activision Blizzard.
You betrayed the
this
shareholders.
is the end goal of capitalism, is the people just... So you you have unsustainable growth, and then when you can't meet that growth, you're abandoned and are forced to lay off and have to lay off people to make it look like you're growing more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where we are now.
Yep. Hooray! Or something.
Can we seize the means of production yet?
Nexus at Night, the maybe Kanye communist podcast.
Insert Soviet national anthem here.
Is this Chapo?
Okay, so...
Right, so anyway.
6 months.
So, what's going on in these 6 months?
Well, first I think we should proceed as to what's immediately coming down the road. We have... Coming up in April for Japan, you have the Extra Booster 6 Light of Salvation Principle of Annihilation, which is the dumbest name I've ever heard for an Extra Booster.
That is a name that exists.
And that includes support for Royal Paladin, Kagero, Nova Grappler, and Link Joker. So, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that we'll cover in its own episode, but the good thing is Nova Grappler's getting their second wave of stuff, which they desperately need, I think. But what are we doing in June?
So it looks like we have Premium Collection period, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And what is Premium Collection?
So Premium Collection is a thing where they reprint a bunch of cards that aren't quite what we wanted. Looks like. I think Stride Fighter's in there too, is that right?
Yeah.
Correct.
What else?
I think every clan okay, well first off the Zeroth Dragons and Gize are getting reprinted. That's the big deal of the set. And then a Stride that for each clan, a G-Guard for each clan, and the Stride Fodder.
Oh. Wait, this is the Revival Collection. I'm pretty sure the Premium Collection is something different.
Fuck.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So what's the Premium Collection thing we don't know anything about yet?
Yeah.
That's right.
No, the Revival Collection is reprinting a bunch of G-Era support that nobody actually wants.
Alright, so the Premium Collection should be about Premium, right?
Yes.
Yes.
This should be a different set of G-Era stuff that nobody wants.
Yes.
Crayon
All we
Tiger,
know
let's
is we're
go.
getting new G units for every clan and new Zeroth Dragons. Or
New?
Nation units.
Yeah, it's the box art is what appear to be like a second set of
We're getting new dragons.
Yeah, and then Gabe went ahead and pointed out to me that the United Sanctuary one literally just looks like if someone took Zoa and just made it all United Sanctuary-esque.
Yeah. I mean, the new zoo one is literally Zoa.
Kind of?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks more Neonectar-ish than before. But Premium Collection... Oh, no, that's... so it comes out in May for Japan and June for English.
Yes.
So hooray, we're back to only a month behind because they had to jam the Bermuda Triangle set in there.
No.
Right.
No, we were behind because of printing issues. They're jamming 2 extra boosters together to catch us back up.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, in July?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so...
I would like to be caught up with Japan, though. That'd be really sweet.
Oh, where they just come out at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's something that we should have wanted a long time ago.
Yeah.
I on one hand, I'm kind of for, like, being a little bit behind Japan, because then you get to see, like, where testing goes, and it allows for easier deck building. Maybe it's a little lazy on my part, but I find it at least a little comforting, or just seeing, like, how divergent Japan's meta is from our own.
Nice.
That's the I'm not listening nice. I know exactly what that nice is. That's the I'm doing something else. I just need to fill space. Because Root Beer's is yeah. And mine is uh-huh.
Alright, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's funny anyway. So yeah, June we get a premium collection. It also shows that Japan, or Bushiroad in general, cares about premium at least to a little bit. I think
premium sees less play in Japan than it does in the West, right?
Correct, because people in the West were like, dude, G units and shit.
Who always want to play with their sweet cards, man?
Yeah, I mean, I like standard and premium for different reasons, and I do think that Different Fight kind of like explained it better than I could in his video about why Hamstay won Worlds, which is that you're guarding, and every card, like, all your resources matter a lot more because there's less of them.
Right.
So, yeah. And I like it for that reason, but I also like in Premium where you can do wacky shit, like doing Megiddo with 4 Skull Dragons and a Captain Nightstorm, and, like, alright, 64, 66, 68, 16, 72. Like, all the crazy stuff you can do in Premium. And I am looking forward to this just to see what they do, but also, do you think that there's, like, a future for just nation units besides the Zeroth Dragons?
I would like to see some nation units that are, like, not strides.
Like, what sort of stuff you think?
Like the Cray Elementals, right? But restricted to nation.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what would they do?
Oh, I don't know.
I just like the idea of somebody in a boardroom somewhere. All right, we got to do the Dragon Empire one. On play, retire a thing, and discard and bind and something.
Do a thing.
Do a thing. I don't know. Can we go to lunch yet, Gary? This is taking too long.
I'm just saying, like, you could have, like some clans are, like, very similar to each other in, like, various, like, nations. Like, if you look at a lot of the, clans in, like, Stargate, like, a lot of them, like, kind of would like to have countercharge somewhere, right?
Yeah. Or, I mean, like, most of the time, the only thing really tying nations together is just their aesthetic.
Yes.
So, like, the fact that the Zeroth Dragons were able to, like, make as much sense as they did as cards was nothing short of a miracle. Like, Ultima, Drachma to an extent, Megiddo, and I guess Stark, I think, are the best example of this. Like, the Dust, they had no idea what they were going to do. They were just like, fuck it, make it big and put it to
scary.
Scary, I don't know, dude. Just make it a thing. Like Ultima, you had calling from the deck, so that covers all 3 paladins. You had stacking the top of the deck, that's OTT and kind of Genesis, and then like that's kind of it. Like Angel Feather, you can't really do much with that. So they covered most of their bases. Drachma blows the opponent's field up and takes cards out of their hand. They did that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Stark Vanguard's big or multiple attacks.
Whoa, Stark is hilarious.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that they designed it well to fit with what the Stargate clans do.
Right. I feel like the Aquaforce one that was kind of like the weird, like the mashup one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What
they're like, how do we? Yeah, because it was like, how do we just combine everything that all of the clans do in this one?
The only thing that would have made Megiddo a more perfect intersection of Bermuda, Grand Blue, and Aquaforce was if it bounced your field first, and then let you call from hand and drop to like just formulate it perfectly. Because that was the. I think we've said that before in the past, but
yes, we have.
I still think Megiddo is a great card.
Yeah.
And I think that Dust has kind of fallen off after they changed the guarding mechanics and how PGs work and all that stuff. But we really ought to do like another like Zeroth Dragon ranking after this set comes out, and maybe we will in the future, because if someone is listening to this in the future, has Trump been impeached yet? Let us know. So premium collection, interesting. It'll be summer and shit, and then we're looking forward to it. What's July got for us?
Okay, so July, we're gonna, in English at least, we're gonna have 2 extra boosters, one with Kagero, Nova Grappler, and Link Joker, and then another, yes, again, and we're getting Messiahs again.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then we're gonna get another extra booster with Dimension Police, Grand Blue, and Aquaforce. AKA, you had kind of medium to bad support in your first wave, and then we forgot about you for a year.
Pretty much.
Well, we got when did we get the first Asia Circuit one? That was like August, a little before that, a little after that, September.
I can't remember.
It was our 100th episode, and this is the 29th or something. You can read the number, listener. But the point is, it's been months since then, but I don't think it's been a year.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing, Link Joker, Kagero, Nova Grappler I kind of understand, but Kagero and Link Joker back-to-back like that, that seemed a little, A, bad for people's wallets, and B, like, God fucking damn it. Stop it with the Kagero.
Anime.
Anime.
The answer is anime.
Yeah.
I mean, we are going into a new anime-only arc, so maybe we'll be able to change up how the support goes.
I mean, we are seeing Ibuki switch from deleters to Messiah in universe instead of just kind of doing a time skip and all of a sudden he's good. Because before it was he's the villain in the Vanguard movie, and then afterward he just shows up in G, and all of a sudden he's like the Professor Snape of Vanguard. Do not disappoint me, Mr. Shindo.
Also, the Asia Circuit came out in July in Japan and August in English, so it has been it's going to be about a year.
Ah, crap, you were right. Okay, 11 months or something. I don't know. God, okay, so, well, at least they're keeping their promise of about once a year.
Unless you're a main character, then you get, 3 sets in a row.
Another thing I think is interesting is that they're pairing the same clans together in, sets as they go along. Like, the AL4 has just been its own, first strongest team AL4, then Vilas Deleter. And maybe you have, variants to that, but I think that's kind of neat that they're...
And also, Kyo hasn't vanished yet, right?
Hasn't what?
The Kyost hasn't vanished like he did in the first series, where he just, disappeared.
Yeah, no, he's around. I mean, a couple weeks.
But remember, in the old series, he just kind of
disappeared into the ether.
Because he's like Spike Brothers, then they sufficiently humiliate him, then he disappears. then he's up in the mountains somewhere, and then
he came back with Mega Colony.
Yeah, but then there's like a thing where he's up in the mountains with playing Spike Brothers, and he's supposed to be like the abominable snowman, but it's just him in like a Sasquatch suit, and then Kai's like, "I know who you are, bitch," and then then kills him. So what sort of things do you expect out of these two boosters coming in July, and what do you think this does for a meta with two boosters being so close together?
It's mostly going to affect clans who, like people who play most of the same clans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Play most of the same clans,
or play like the same clans in the sets.
Oh,
yeah. Like let's say somebody's playing like Kagero and Aquaforce at the same time.
Oh, then you gotta pick up one after the other. I make the mistake of having a clan that I like in Grey Nature, and then I'm like, I'm gonna pick up Narukami too, and then it's the set after because I'm an idiot.
Right?
But like, I'm having a lot of fun playing testing with it, so
yeah,
whatever.
You should be like me and Matt. Just stop playing this game for long periods of time and only casually own like 1 or 2 decks.
Fine, I guess. I mean, the problem is like there's a scene I can go to, and
yeah,
that's what my friends and I like. Literally, this is what my friends and I do on Friday nights is fucking play Vanguard, and that sounds pathetic, but pretty much every other night of the week I'm on stage talking about my junk to people into a microphone. Nice. So it's only slightly less sad.
Both potential locals I could go to are on weekends. One is on Sunday afternoons and is like an hour away, and then the other one is near my house, but last time I checked it was dead.
Oh,
they did put up a poster for the set with Genesis, Great Nature, and Gear Chronicle recently, so I don't know, maybe the locals came back to life after the reboot and I just never checked.
Maybe. Or maybe in about 6 months it's going to be sad and sun-bleached in the window.
Yeah, probably.
Like, you know, every card shop has that one, like, oh, we put this Rise of Destiny poster in like 2004, and we didn't want to move it, and it's just still there.
Right. I would like to see Daikaiser in the Dimension Police one.
I'm sure you would. You pick up Dimension Police again if that was the case?
I don't know, man. Like, I built Murakumo because it's really cheap, and it turns out it's really good. So I feel like I just lucked into something here.
Pretty much. I mean, this is like Charles the 12th level of luck in picking up the random bullshit. Like, oh man,
Aquaforce's Blue Wave, I might pick it up. Wow. Maybe, possibly. I don't know.
I mean, do you still have a Premium Pale Moon?
Yes, because awesome. I can't be bothered to actually get rid of it.
Good job. I kind of miss it a little bit. We'll talk later.
Rude.
Rude indeed. So,
rude.
Now, okay, so normally where sets, take a month or two to come out, so you get, like, the set comes out, people pay, like, everybody at Locals or whatever picks up the deck for about a week, then they sell it off. Shout out to Ben and Bonnie. But, like, with two sets coming out so close to each other, do you think they come out in the same week, or is it going to be, like, one, then 2 weeks, then another one?
It might be the last time they released two sets in the same month, where one at the beginning, one at the end.
This makes sense.
I don't remember this. When was this?
This was a really long time. I believe it was when they released the set with... It was in G-Era. They released a set with, like, OTT, Great Nature, and whatever.
Trinity Dragon.
Trinity Dragon. I think it released
Dragon.
I think it released in the same month as something else, and I can't remember what that was.
That was the only time that Great Nature just outright sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Was after Trinity Dragon.
Extra boosters.
Trinity Dragon was a pretty poor set.
Yeah. Enigmas. All right, so after July and those two, we head into August, which we're back with the Miyagi clan. So Royals, OTT, Golds, Nubatama, and Narukami.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. The whole main character thing is just more frequent than the non-main character stuff. That being said, I've noticed that the clans that don't have as frequent of support tend to get just overall stronger cards. Like,
is that true?
Well, okay, let's take something like, I would say Great Nature, but that's what I use for everything. So why don't we try something like, oh man, the Reckless Rampage clans are not looking good for this example, but let's let's use
Spike
them.
Brothers. We can say Spike Brothers.
Sure, shout out to Proof. But Spike Brothers, it came out from a year from, was it like November, and then we're next getting that in October. Spoilers for later in this episode. But I think the cards that they got were pretty strong outright, and it's carried them well-ish.
But you look at like clans that get support before spikes, like OTT, that was just like outright bonkers.
Yeah.
And then spikes are like, like pretty decent, but not like busted. And it takes them just actual favorite support.
Yeah.
Just like problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Like a year and a half is not okay for things needing support, I think.
Mm-hmm. And also, we're getting like clans on their third or even fourth wave of support by the time they see anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like in this August one where you have Royals on there, I think fourth wave.
Let's see.
Yeah,
fourth wave, because first set
Q4.
Yeah, we have Q4, and then we had the mini booster, and then we had.
I'm not even counting the mini booster. You have that one, Miyagi, whatever the long ass name was that I said earlier.
Yeah,
and
then this is going to be their fourth wave.
Yeah,
technically fifth if you count the mini booster.
I don't, but it's like there's that. OTT is going to be on its
third,
and then Gold's is third. Nubatama and Narukami are second.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like that is. Kind of it, well, because like the stuff you've gotten or that they've gotten on their second and third wave has been good, but it hasn't been this like bonkers thing. Like OTT was bonkers to start, and then everything after has just kind of been the same stuff, or it doesn't help with their weaknesses, which we talked about during the Miyagi set.
Yeah, but it's still like it's been very strong comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just because the clan is strong, does that make it like unfair for it to support so soon?
No, I mean, no, but I think like if you like, they should have. I'm trying to think of a way to say this. Like to have some clans go so far without support while also not being nearly as strong, it feels really bad.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. I
mean, part of that is just the structure of the game, right? Because of decks being separated by clans, you need to give a lot of the clans equal support so that the game still feels like it has variety and that people who are playing certain clans don't feel like they're being left behind.
Do you think this is why the 2-deck format thing is being kicked around?
Oh, no.
Maybe just because it will force people to play decks that aren't what they normally expected.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is there was a suggestion for tournaments where it's you bring 2 decks instead of 1. Different Fight does a whole video talking about it, but basically it's like almost as if it's best 2 out of 3. But when you lose, you bring your second deck out, and it has to be a different clan. We'll go ahead and link that in the show notes because I don't want to explain it, and I think it's an interesting concept that, we said, it delves into, or it makes you play clans you wouldn't normally play, or just pick up something else.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think a lot of people own multiple decks who do play Vanguard primarily because of this, right? Like, some decks just get more support than others.
Yeah, and you just get bored after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this thing does the same stuff over and over and over again. I want to try it. Like, deck building, to me, is one of the most fun parts of any TCG. And like as you get to cards of the bigger card pool, like in Magic, what is the like? Is deck building fun, or is it just kind of this sort of like means to an end?
Deck building's pretty fun.
What's it like with? I mean, well, Magic has a different way of giving support where it's not, like structured along those clan lines and.
Yeah, you're not stuck with whatever clans
or color or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Like, so you can always like mix colors and do interesting things with them, which is like what I like about which is what I like a lot about Magic. You just don't have that option in Vanguard.
I mean, there was Extreme Fight, but no one really took to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that nobody even bothered with.
What?
And even in Yu-Gi-Oh, where there is certain archetypes, like there are always a lot of generic cards that people will slot in to mix up their decks a bit. So even if your specific archetype isn't being supported, some generic card out there could help whatever you're doing.
Right.
Like this premium collection with the nation stuff. Hashtag full circle. I wonder what they're gonna do for in August, especially with like Nubatama and Narukami. I'm not really sure how you follow those up, and Nubatama especially. I think Nubatama needs a little bit more help. Narukami seems like it's doing okay, and the other three are the other three.
Yeah, Narukami is kind of a weird beast. I think second set support will tell a lot where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think at this point, like clans like Gold Paladin need a lot of help, and I don't know what to think about Nubatama.
And this is assuming they don't shove in some new mechanic, like starting with the.
That would be a disaster.
Yeah.
What, for Nubatama again?
Or for any of them, right?
Yeah.
No, like a new mechanic into the game as a whole, because
God.
I assume like the extra booster with Kagero, Nova Grappler, and Link Joker will be the start of a new season, which means there is a distinct possibility they could decide to shove in a new mechanic to the game.
Please don't.
Not again.
Limit Break 2, wait.
Alright, we're going to extend the amount of damage you can take. It goes from 6 to 8. Now,
what if they do things that have what if they do abilities that have bonuses based on like how little damage you have?
Oh god.
That'd be interesting.
Angel Feather would be broken as shit.
No. They don't give it to Angel Feather, though, because as you can see, Angel Feather's nowhere on this table.
That's true.
So they cannot get support till like a year from now.
Right.
That is entirely likely.
I feel kind of bad for the other... What was the name of that idol group? It was Ultra Rare. I feel bad for the other Ultra Rare clans because they're just kind of left behind, and it's only because Corrin went to high school.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not even the best one.
What, Suiko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, what if they put Legion back into the game?
No.
Stop. It failed the first time. There's no way anyone can convince anybody that it's a good idea to put it back in the game.
Legion is what made me leave the first time. That was like everybody has their moment where they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it was what, 2 things on the Vanguard circle? Nah, I can't do it.
Yeah, they'll never put Legion back in this game. I say that, and they're going to immediately do it. But they should never put Legion back in this game.
I agree. Now, we didn't really mention the Bermuda set that's coming out in March for Japan and May for us. But we will, because root beer like them mermaids. And this whole, like, they're introducing the, what was it, melody mechanic?
Yep.
And
why are they all grade 3s?
I mean, I haven't really been paying that much attention to the reveals because to me it's all kind of mermaids, and it's the one clan I've never really played.
I still don't know what they're actually trying to do with this set. Like, they're just kind of throwing everything.
They're just printing mermaid cards, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they normally do, right? They just like throw mermaid cards at people and they're like, oh, they're cute, I'll buy them. And then it works every time.
Yeah, that's true.
It seems like what the melody thing is if like it's a skill and you just put melody at the beginning, and then everybody else with that melody ability gets to share it.
Yeah.
Which they kind of did with Genesis with the whole Divine Gauge thing. Where it was this whole painstaking process, but every time you get a trigger, it gets shared with everybody.
Yeah, except all of the cards with the keyword are grade 3s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Goddamn, son. And, well, I mean, they aren't finished revealing everything, but still.
Yeah, but, like, none of the commons they've revealed so far have the keyword.
Watch them be all high-rarity stuff, and then it's like this.
I'm starting to think that's probably not even going to be high-rarity stuff. It's just going to be these 5 with the keyword, and it's not going to work at all.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay, so, I don't know. I'm basically leaving this up to you to really, like, give us info, because I can't pay attention to it because it's so, like, everything kind of looks the same to me.
Yeah. They all have...
Yes.
Yeah. They all have Vanguard-only skills with ridiculous costs and okay effects.
Alright.
And they're all grade 3s. So I have no idea how they actually expect this melody deck to work.
You just do it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just Divine Gauge and hope it works.
You have to watch the really bad Bermuda show.
I refuse.
It is really bad.
I didn't watch it. How was it?
I just told you.
No.
Really bad?
No. Like, fucking get into specifics. Like, how bad was it?
Alright, so, like, all the characters are kind of, like, non-characters, right? They're all, like, the generic, archetypal, like, cute girls doing cute things, but they have, like, negative personalities. So and there's, like, the one new girl who's, like, also, like, a negative... I don't know, it's just, like, everyone doesn't even feel like they were written to be anything. They're just, like, there in, like, generic archetypes.
See, now
also, what's wrong with their faces?
Look, they had to cut the animation budget.
No, like, from the start, their eyes have always been, like, ridiculous. They have these, like, weird triangular eyes, and it freaks me out every time I look at it.
Triangle, bruh.
Like, this is not what anime looks like.
It is now. Apparently. I don't know, I'm not really watching much this season. I'm watching Star Twinkle Pretty Cure. And
anime sucks and is for nerds?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So don't talk to me about anime. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, see, now when you say they're all like cute anime girls with negative personalities, what I immediately thought of was like an anime version of You're the Worst or It's Always Sunny. And now I want that to happen so bad.
I wish.
How fucking great would that be?
I'm pretty sure. Isn't that just Pop Team Epic?
Maybe.
Don't
no, I think Always Sunny is more coherent.
I
Pop
never
Team
thought...
Epic is like the most incoherent thing.
I never thought that coherent and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia would be in the same sentence together.
Alright. It's Always Sunny is all over the place, right?
Yes.
But you don't understand. Pop Team Epic is it exists in a special universe.
It is anti-humor.
Yeah. The punchline of the jokes are the punchline of different jokes. It's like really, really crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it is impossible. It is impossible to describe. You just have to see it for yourself.
Nexus at Night, the anime podcast.
Yep.
Pretty much.
But anime sucks and it's for nerds, and never talk to us about anime.
Nexus at Night, the podcast that sucks and is for nerds. Alright, moving on into September, we have Shadow Paladin, Murakumo, D-Eyes, and Pale Moon. Yet another
what was that second one? I just want to hear it again.
Murakumo.
Man. Murakumo gets one of the best cards ever printed in this fucking game, and they get third wave support in September? Dang.
Well, they get Vilas the Leader in or okay, well they've already gotten it for Japan.
Yep, and we get it soon PM.
Yeah, we get it. God damn it, I'm in the fucking extra boosters. We get it March 22nd, so next month, which means that Matt will... I'm half expecting every time we start this podcast, I'm just going to hear like this rubbing.
It's going to be me rubbing my Shirayukis.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, just like against the side of your bearded face. Just
you know the sound that pickles make when you rub them together?
No. No, I don't.
All right, that's my one SpongeBob reference for the day.
R.I.P. Steven Hillenberg. I mean, okay. Shadows, I think, have, like, it would have been...
I think the Shadows deck is, like, fine. I think the Shadow deck is, like, pretty decent.
Yeah.
I just think, like, it's not, like, inherently busted like some other decks, Murkuma. But I think it's, like...
It is
pretty
medium.
Good.
Yeah,
I think it's, like, a little better than medium. I think it's, like, medium plus to, like, good minus.
Yeah. But Shadows have, like, dropped a little bit since their initial debut and, you know, strongest TMAL4. Violet's Deleter gives them a little bit. DIs are, like, working on their way to becoming better, and that helped a little bit. What?
The new DI sport's weird.
It is a little weird, but I think it helped some of their problems, like the couldn't soul charge fast enough. So they're getting there. And Pale Moon is just Jesus Christ, Pale Moon. Like,
what even was this Pale Moon support?
I don't know. Like, the only things I'm getting out of this set are Dancing Princess of the Night Sky and Misdirection at limited quantities. I do not need anything else. So it's like...
What kind of mental hoops do you need to go through to be like, you know what Pale Moon needs? A way to retire all rear guards.
Yeah, and make it a rare for whatever.
Also, like, this Excel clan, which is generally just going to have more rear guards than everybody else. And then they're like, yeah, let's blow up our rear guards easy. And you're like...
Or, like, suck them all back in. And in a clan that soul charges, you want to be soulless. Yeah, that's the...
Yep.
That's
easy.
So
easy.
Because they needed, like, a way to show that Asuko is all edgelord now. So they were like, she's living on the edge. She's the end of stage. Gun salute, dragon, end of stage. Yay.
Easy.
So I'm hoping that it'll have been about 6 months between one set of support and the other, which is fine. I think that's a good amount of time between, as opposed to, 2 months.
All I'm saying is, if this Pale Moon support is really mediocre, then I think the clan's just unplayable.
Yep, if the Pale Moon support ends up sucking, then I'm pretty much putting...
I think the clan's pretty unplayable, like, as of now.
Yeah, and
I think, like, it's going to be almost irrecoverable with another bad wave of support.
Pretty much. Well, because now there's enough removal that it can't really survive for long, where it couldn't before. So, yeah. And then...
the other decks are just getting substantially better, while Pale Moon is, like, floundering.
Stagflation. Pretty much.
Right.
It's Vanguard stagflation. So, finally, in October, in the year of our Lord and Savior 2019, finally, Tachikaze, Spike Brothers, and Mega Colony get their due. A
year and a half later. Easy.
Year and a half later. Oh, sweet Jesus. I mean...
So stupid.
My problem is that, like, Mega Colony fell out of, like, usefulness pretty much instantly. And I'm not talking about Premium. Premium is its own beast, and that happened... Like, there weren't a lot of cards from the original... Or from, Reckless Rampage that made it into the Premium thing outside of Antlion and the Fate Triggers. Like, most of it was just all the stuff from G-Era. So, Tachikaze had the problem of if you don't ride Gigarex, you die, and no countercharge. And Spike Brothers... I kind of suffered through that same Pale Moon problem of everything just kind of got better around it. So, I think that's a thing that just tends to happen with a lot of Force clans. Where, like, Spikes, Dimension Police, Genesis, stuff like that, prove me wrong.
Right? I just wish... I don't know. How do you wait a year and a half to give, like, things like Tachikaze support?
You just forget?
Like, the deck was, like, missing, like, clearly needed help for a long time.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that had to be pretty clear when they made it. So, like, and they give, like, these clans, like, Murakumo didn't fall off nearly as hard, and they got support before them. Like, I just feel like they're just like kind of releasing support whenever they feel like it, and the clans like don't even have like characters associated to them or like important characters.
Mm-hmm.
I was kidding. Morikawa is very important, but like are just getting completely shafted, just like happened in the first game. Like, we're not fixing any of the problems that happened before. We're just doing them again.
I mean, like, because it's a reboot, one time is a coincidence, 2 or more times is a pattern. So, I think if they wait another year between October and then the next time they give them support, then they're just kind of back to their old tricks. But I think, in terms of like creating a diverse meta out of the support that they're giving clans, I believe that Bushiroad is doing a better job than they have in the past. And you're welcome to fight me on this at Nexus at Night or at Atlas Novak, depending who you want to answer. But like in general, like example, there is a pie chart that came out as of February 4th, 2019. The topping decks of like Japanese tournaments, you have 21% Angel Feather, 21% Murakumo, 14% Great Nature, 12% Gold Paladin, 9% Shadow Paladin, 9% OTT, 7% Neo Nectar, 5% Royal Paladin, and 2% Gear Chronicle. Like, that's an incredibly diverse meta.
All right, let me ask you something though.
What?
How many of these were in teams? How many of these were in teams?
I don't know.
Right. So I think teams like is often kind of used as a backdrop to feign diversity, which is kind of the.
We haven't gotten to Springfest though yet.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I think that going forward, Murakumo will be just very, very strong. I think like. We have on Essence the Murakumo deck's like what, $50 or some shit. Maybe you paid less somehow.
Yeah, I mean you have like, multiple variants too. Like there are several different decks already.
A deck that's going to be tier 1. Once we have Violet Leader, and is like less than $100. Pretty much. Everyone and their mother will be playing Murakumo.
Yeah. And then it will stop being less than $100.
Right, my mother bought Murakumo. Just kidding, but it'd be funny if true. Big if true.
Matt doesn't seem like the type of person who would be born like you know those people where you meet them and you're like, you came out of the womb like an adult in a suit, like you did. Like, you seem that type of person where you came out and you were just like, man, my experience in those 9 months, that was medium minus right there. That was just not worth it.
Look, I just need more accurate ways to describe it.
But yeah, but even if team tournaments are skewing those numbers a little bit, that's still a very colorful pie chart. And
but if every team has Murakumo on it, it's like, or like let's say 4 out of 5 teams have Murakumo. That's like that's like kind of misrepresenting what's going on, right? Or if, like, so let's say like back when every team had OTT, right?
Yeah.
If we made the same pie chart, probably we would see that OTT something like 30-something% of the meta. Mm-hmm. But including team events, this matters a lot because team events are pushing that result down significantly, especially when they were on almost every team, like probably like 9 out of 10 or higher.
Well, here let's look at like Malaysia Gift VGCSO2, 55 people. So they did the 2-deck fight thing. So first place was Shadow Paladin and Great Nature. Second was Murakumo, Angel Feather. Third was Neo Nectar OTT. And then, well, that's a weird way to write it. But clan distribution for first deck, second deck, there were 10 and 2 for Neo Nectar, 3 and 3 for DP, 1 and 4 for Gears, 4 and 3 for Link Joker, 6 and 4 for Great Nature, 6 and 10 for Murakumo. I'm not even halfway done.
Right.
And they're
no. I mean, I think the 2-deck format definitely opens up a lot people to bring like interesting things. Also, it means that you're playing multiple games, which
yes, always good.
Nice.
Yeah. Finally.
Unsure if a best of 3 would have similar results, but like as far as like fun, but I can definitely see why people would be interested in a 2-deck kind of format.
Yeah. I mean, if they weren't going to give us best of 3, I'll take what I can get,
Angel Feather Murokuma is a pretty rude combination, though.
Rude, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I have Murakumo, I have Angel Feather, and then your opponent's like, as do I. All right.
Well,
it
this
comes
is going
down
to be
to
a
like
long one.
watching your opponent just like take it out, and then you're like, do I?
I really would want to set up the Angel Feather mirror first.
Just get that out of the way.
I've played.
No,
that.
just take the whole time.
I've played that before, and it's excruciating. Like, just the.
You just look at your opponent like, want to draw. Too bad you can't. Yeah. Oh man, I would ID that shit so fast.
So yeah, Bushiroad's like next 6 month plans are kind of dumb when it comes down to like how often they're giving support for some things, but in the overall state of the game, I think they've done an okay job so far. Better than they have in the past.
I think the mismanagement of some clans not having to wait a year and a half for support is pretty egregious. Like there are some people who are like being pushed to other clans because like they can't depend on Bushi for support. Like Living Proof picking up Murakumo, for example, which is like
he was so sad about it. He was like,
yeah, like this is a guy who built a name off only playing Spike Brothers, and now is, I think properly moving to probably one of the best decks we're going to see in Standard, and I think but mostly it's a product of Bushiroad, like not printing Spike Brothers support in a reasonable amount of time. Mm-hmm. Like I think if he would have had decent Spike Brothers support, he wouldn't have to make this decision, but because Spike Brothers just like Bushiroad can't support Spike Brothers on a reasonable basis, he's forced to.
Yeah, and the worst part is that probably makes the frequency thing worse because we don't support this clan for a year and a half. Okay, I'll just play something else. Oh, no one's playing this. I guess it doesn't matter.
Right, which is kind of like, yeah, of course, if you don't support clans, people aren't going to play it. But like nobody was playing Murakumo before, and then they're like, "Oh, let's print good Murakumo." Then they printed good Murakumo cards, probably on accident, and everyone wanted to play Murakumo all of a sudden.
I'm unhappy because I eat. I'm eat because I'm unhappy.
You fat bastard!
I wasn't even a good fat bastard. My friend Nick would be disappointed in me.
Right, but we knew who it was just by the quote, so it's all right.
Much, yeah. So
you should have just said it in your normal voice. I think that was your mistake.
Yeah. Nexus at Night, the Deconstructing Atlas's Jokes podcast. Root Beer, what do you think?
I don't really have anything to add. Like, I agree with a lot of what Matt said. And I think it's kind of ridiculous that they make people have wait this really long time between clans. Like, I dropped Aqua Force partially because of quality of the previous support, and then just as time goes on, I never bothered to go back and pick it up because there was no support in sight.
Until now.
And then they really just need to drop the whole like anime-based support stuff.
Agreed.
Please.
They like Answer of Truth was a pretty solid set, and that had nothing to do with the anime.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for God's sake, like, okay, we have one round of support. Okay, 2 of those 3 clans were in the top 8 at Worlds for Standard. Brilliant. I wish there was a way you could, like, maybe not a survey, but just some way to, like, let Bushiroad know that people care about these clans that are being undersupported.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the very least, just don't put Kagero and Link Joker back-to-back, month-to-month.
Right? Jesus Christ, I swear. Or fucking, what was that clan that the main character plays? Royal Paladin. Jesus Christ.
At least Kagero hasn't gotten support in a while.
That's true. And their grip on the meta was slipping. Like, you'd see maybe one in a top 8 somewhere, but just they need another injection.
Dude, Kagero's trash.
Well, now it is. And I'm
Dude,
guessing... What?
Fucking Novell was so bad.
Yeah.
I got Novelled for 7 units, and the game was not close.
Yeah, we had an episode called "Grade 4s Don't Make the Grade" exactly about this. Oh man, no, you know what's worse than getting Novelled for 7 units? Getting Melissa'd for 7 units. Witch of Frogs Melissa.
What does that one do again?
That was the one where you have to. It's Soul Blast 3. The opponent calls X number of cards from the top of their deck is the number of rear guards they have. You gotta call over them, and then none of your on-call skills activate. I was playing against my friend earlier this week with Great Nature, and he did it twice in a row. So
did he deck you out?
Takes 14 cards out of my deck, and I ended up beating him by the skin of my teeth with 2 cards left. I was like, holy shit, dude. It's wacky. I found that even more painful than just, alright, your board's gone, and I'm 15k base for whatever reason. So, cool.
Yeah, but Matt was saying he got novelled for 7 units and it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, the game was not remotely close. I crushed this person. It was so funny. This is the only time I've been actually novelled, though.
Oh, man.
Because nobody plays that card.
It seems like people literally use it just so they can search out Overlord for ride consistency. They're like, this is a pawn to...
So literally the same way people use novella the first time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, Novell the first time was actually a problem.
Yeah.
The extra guard restrict on Novell the first time was pretty brutal, and that triggers just always didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't think Novell's very good. And, like, that's what I kind of expected, right? Like, even Exculpate was, like, very medium.
And people only play it out of necessity.
Yeah, people just played, like, 2 of it, just, like,
yeah.
You know, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Like, don't focus on it, just... get there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think like the units that you need to play to get to it are just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, people are still playing Exculpate even after the Miyagi set, based on Worlds. I think
you're just playing 1 or 2, or
still just playing 2.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, I think Exculpate is a bit better than Novell for sure.
I mean, it actually has finisher potential. It's not. Exculpate wasn't just a defensive card at grade 4 like Novell. So what were you saying, Matt?
Oh, I was going to say, like, I really hope the Tachikaze support, like, addresses some consistency issues, giving them another strong grade 3 ride. Yes. So they can make it like a 4-4-2 with Death Rex as a 2, and then have Gigarex and whoever the new idiot is as their, like, 4-4s, so that, like, like, the deck works like, with many ride targets. Or maybe even a 4-3-2, depending on space, of course. But, just something to give them... just not like right now. If you ride this or you lose, and even if you ride it nowadays, probably not great. Just because like decks are better, Tachikaze hasn't gotten anything. And not that we're getting that promo at any point, stuff like that.
How savage!
But I would like to see some cool Tachikaze stuff.
Me too.
I hope Bermuda gets at least one playable deck. I still don't know what the fuck is actually going on with the set.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? This set is a giant mystery to me. I've read the cards, actually. Yeah. And I'm like, how do these piece together? I don't know. I don't feel like figuring it out right now.
Neither do I.
It's a weird puzzle. But I hope people figure it out, and I hope it's good.
Yeah.
And we hope that we'll find out in the coming months, and then it'll be us doing set reviews. And then we're like, this is awesome, this is not as awesome. And that's how time works. So,
yes. And play Murakumo.
It's like a shitty version of a Jehovah's Witness.
Alright, but look.
Oh wait,
what if all 8 players in the top 8 of something are Murakumo? That'd be so funny.
I mean, we got 6 of 8 of Worlds being, in Premium being Gold Paladin, so...
Right? I mean, that is sweet. What, do you have to win the die roll, or the game's just really hard?
Pretty much.
People who bought out Potpourri are idiots.
Bought out what?
There is this really old double R in Bermuda Triangle it's a Harmony unit that says GV1 on hit. You can bounce a unit back to your hand, and then if it's in Harmony, you can call something back, I believe.
Did you just say on hit to me? To my face?
Because of the new grade 3.
What? Why would I play an on hit card?
So there's a grade 3 that we got today, Colorful Pastoral Fina. She has a melody effect that doesn't matter for this, but her other skill is Act, Vanguard, Soul Blast 2, and activate effects with when hit, even when they do not hit for the battles of this turn.
So you just keep bouncing shit and replaying them?
Yeah. But
that's pretty annoying.
But this is a GB1 9K unit, and it doesn't gain any power.
Force markers?
Yeah, but you'd need 2 of them for it to actually be infinite.
Oh, it's GB1? Oh, I hate it already.
Yeah, it's GB1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, return one of your other rear guards, and if it's in harmony, call something back. So you would need 2 of Potpourri. You would need 2 back row with harmony so that you can actually put her back in harmony when you do your bounce call. You need to be GB1 and probably need 2 force markers so that both of them could actually hit and deal damage.
Disgusting.
And this got bought out because infinite loop, even though this is the most impractical bullshit.
It's fine. Let people do whatever they want. No, you need these cards, right?
No, I'm pretty sure I still have 4 of them sitting in my commons box somewhere.
Sell, easy.
Pretty much.
What if I want to make this really stupid infinite loop?
Alright, fair enough. You got me.
Then
I have been got.
That shit and put it on the channel. That's what you do. All right, that was Nexus at Night. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram at the titular at Nexus at Night, or just Patreon. That's cool. You can find me at Atlas Novak.
Find me at Wiggum with 2 G's, 2 Z's.
Find me at Plasma Eclipse.
And see y'all next week. I was Atlas.
So Matt.
I'm Root here.